I will yell, all troll dolls have full skulls. What? What am I talking about? Well, so this is the troll doll rule, and I invented it. It's a way for us to think about these unusual or unexpected AL, OL, UL endings. And this sentence encaptures all the different ways that we can do the LL ending and its different variations. And so as we're going through the lesson, I want you to think about, I will yell. All troll dolls have full skulls. And by the end of this lesson, see if you can figure out why I made this rule. Welcome to day 1 of our lesson. We'll start out today with talking about our new concept. Then, after that, we'll do some phonemic awareness practice, practice our visual drills, do our auditory drill, and we'll finish up with our blending drill.
Phonics connects sounds and symbols, unlocking code increasingly nimble, like wings for words. It'll lift you high with every sound. You soar, you fly.
So let's get started with our new concept. Welcome to lesson 43, where we're going to be talking about ALL, OLL, and ULL. And sometimes how when we see these combinations, the vowel makes an unexpected sound. And I wanted you to know that and be prepared for it, because sometimes in your reading, it feels sort of unexpected to come across a weird sound. So let's talk about where and when you might see that. When we see the double L at the end of a word, it's often following the floss rule, like we talked about in lesson 42. And you can see that happening right here with that first blue word, the word well, or the word fill. These are one-syllable words. They have that short vowel happening in the middle, and they're ending with the double L. So that's why they're following the floss rule. Now let's zoom in and focus on these 3 combinations, ALL, OLL, and ULL. I want you to think about what you would expect ALL to make. What sound? You might be thinking, owl. But no, when A follows LL, it often makes a different sound, and we'll talk about that. When you go to OLL, what do you think is the sound that it's going to make? OLL. Let's see. O, short O, aw, all. Were you thinking all? Me too. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And let's talk about that. And finally, with ULL, let's see, the short U says so were you thinking oh? That's what I was thinking too, oh. And sometimes it does make the sound oh, but sometimes there's another sound it makes. So I'm going to tell you all about those unexpected variations so that you can expect them. So the funny thing about ALL ending words is if we think about the short A sound, ah, and then we think about the LL, al, we would expect a lot of these words to be pronounced rhyming with al. So that word right there, HALL, we might think that it's going to be the word hal, but it's not. It's pronounced hall, because ALL words typically rhyme with the sound all, like the word all, like all of us are learning about this right now. So these 2 words are not hal and stal. No. We pronounce these words haul and stall. And there's tons of words we can think of that rhyme with this, that follow this pattern, like small and tall and ball. So when you see ALL, I want you to think all. Now here's the thing. We've got our OLL, and we have this word right here. And this word feels like it should be in the page before when we were talking about the ALL words. This is the word doll. D-O-O spells doll. And that's kind of an unexpected thing that's happening with that O sound and the A sound and how we're learning these letters. So you need to know that because that ALL sound is often making all, when you spell the word doll, you actually need to use an O. And here's a few words that break that pattern that you might think would be happening. We have these words, poll, like asking a bunch of people a question, or troll. Poll and troll have the ol ending, and that is the more common ending for OLL words. You have poll, troll, toll, roll. You can expect the ol ending much more frequently than the all ending, like you see there for doll. If it's all, typically it's ALL. And this brings us to ULL. Those two orange words are dull and skull. Dull and skull. They end in the ul sound. The ULL is making the sound ul, but that's not always the case. If you look at these two teal words, these words are bull and full. Now, bull and full rhyme with each other, ul and ul, but they don't rhyme with dull and skull. So sometimes the ULL makes ul, and sometimes it makes ul. And that's just a pattern that I'm telling you about so that you can be aware of it across your reading. When you see ALL, OLL, or ULL out in your reading or writing, there is more than one way that they get pronounced. You might think that ALL is al, but no, it's usually going to be all. And you might think OLL is going to be all, but usually it's going to be ol. And ULL, well, sometimes it's ul and sometimes it's ul. And so it's okay to try more than one way to pronounce those words until you get a feel for which words are creating which pronunciation. That's just the funky thing about these three vowels that follow the LL digraph. If you would like your own copy of the Troll Doll Rule poster or this coloring page that also has the Troll Doll Rule, you are welcome to download it from the link below. This is a free printable for you to use however you would like to support your learning and your way of remembering this rather silly rule. Now let's say it together. I will yell. All troll dolls have full skulls. It's time now to head over to see Blenda and Siggy for our phonemic awareness practice.
It's time to blend some phonemes with Blenda, the blender bot. Please blend each sound that I tell you. Then say the words you got. Then say the words you got. It's time to blend some phonemes.
Hey readers, welcome to the blending space. Hi Blenda. All right, we are going to do some blending and we're going to tap the sounds out on our fingers. So please wiggle your fingers around, do them up high. Oop, they would disappeared. Do them up high, down low, cross them in front of you, and let's start with the first sounds. I, l. Again. I, l. Blend. Hill, hill. The word is hill. Exactly. Did you understand hill? She got it. The next sound is, or sounds, t, ah, s. Again, t, ah, s. Blend them. Toss, toss. The word is toss, like you would toss a ball. Okay, the next sounds are s. Again, s. Press, press, like if you press down on something. That's how you make apple ciders. You press those apples. Blenda, did you know that you press apples? Yeah, I'm sure you knew that. You work here in the garden. Okay, and the last word we're going to do starts with this sound. G, l, a, s. Again, g, l, a, s. Blend them. Gloss, gloss. Like you might put some gloss on your lips. Or that pumpkin behind me looks pretty glossy. It has a shine to it. Did you gloss the pumpkins? No, that's just how they look. All right, great job blending. Thank you for helping me out with this, and let's go see Siggy for some segmenting.
Hey there, Siggy, how you doing today? You're an expert segmenter and you love to play. Miss Gardner, tell us a word and let's all listen close. Then we'll say each phoneme our practice really shows.
Hey readers, welcome to our segmenting space. We've got Siggy here to help us out. So let's start by segmenting some words. Let's see what sounds we can find in these words. I'm going to use my segmenting stretchy noodles to imagine taking that word and stretching it out to hear all the sounds. So the first word is the word miss. Miss. Let's stretch it. Miss. Miss. M-is. I heard 3 sounds. Ooh, that's hard to hold and do 3. 3 sounds. And let's do them on our fingers. M-is. Miss. Miss has 3 phonemes. Okay, the next word is the word fell. Fell. Like I fell asleep reading my book. So I do that all the time. I love reading at night, but if I'm tired, I'll just fall asleep. Okay, fell. Fell. L. 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 I hear how many phonemes? 3. Let's tap them. L. Fell. Fell has 3 phonemes. The next word that we are going to segment is the word still. Still. Like, be still, my heart. These are such good segmenters. That's very dramatic, but good use of the word still. So the word is still. Still. St-ill. St-ill. How many phonemes do you hear? I heard 4. Let's tap them. St-ill. St-ill. Still. Siggy, did you understand still? Okay, great. And our last one is the word staff. Staff, like the people who work at your school are the staff members of your school. Okay, so we've got the word staff. 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 I heard how many phonemes? Did you hear? 4. I heard 4. Let's tap them out. Staff. Staff. There are 4 sounds, 4 phonemes in the word staff. Wonderful segmenting. Great job. Let's keep going. Let's go do some visual drill practice.
All right, readers, now it's time for our visual drill practice. When you see the letter pop up, I want you to tell me what sound that letter spells. For example, if you see the letter B pop up, you would say B spells B. Are you ready? Let's fly.
This is a lowercase letter F, and this is also a lowercase letter F. What does it spell when we see 2 lowercase letter Fs next to each other? It makes the sound exactly like you might see in this word. F-L-U-F-F spells fluff. F-F spells this is the letter F. And what does the letter F spell? The letter F spells the letter F spells like in the beginning of the word feather. Feather. This is the lowercase letter L. Exactly. And this is also a lowercase letter L. And when they're next to each other, they make the sound ul, ul. If we put these letters in front, we get the word ul, pull. So LL spells ul. This is the letter L. And what does the letter L spell? The letter L spells ul. The letter L spells ul, like in the beginning of the word lion. This is the lowercase letter s, and this is also the lowercase letter s. What sound does it make when two lowercase letter s's are next to each other? We get the sound s. SS spells s, like you might see at the end of this word. B-O-S-S, boss, boss. SS spells s. This is the lowercase letter z, exactly. And this is also the lowercase letter z. And what sound does ZZ make? ZZ spells z, z, like you might see in this word. Fuzz, fuzz. ZZ spells z. This is the letter Z. What does Z spell? Z spells z. Z spells z, like in the word zebra. This is the letter S. And what does the letter S spell? The letter S spells s. The letter S spells s, like in the beginning of the word snake. This is also the letter S. And the letter S also spells, the letter S also spells z. The letter S also spells z, like in the word music, music. This is the uppercase letter U, exactly. And this is the lowercase letter u. And what does the letter U spell? The letter U spells up. The letter U spells up, like in the beginning of the word umbrella. This is the uppercase letter E, and this is the lowercase letter e. And the letter E spells e. The letter E spells e, like in the beginning of the word elephant. This is the uppercase letter I, and this is the lowercase letter I. And what does the letter I spell? The letter I spells I, like in the beginning of the word inchworm. Inchworm. This is the uppercase letter O, and this is the lowercase letter o. And what does the letter O spell? The letter O spells aw. The letter O spells aw, like in the beginning of the word otter. Otter. This is the letter A, the uppercase A, and this is the lowercase a. And what is the short sound that the letter A spells? The letter A spells ah. The letter A spells ah, like in the beginning of the word astronaut. It's time now for our auditory drill.
All right, readers, now it's time for our auditory drill practice. Make sure you have something to write with and that your writing surface is all set up. Mrs. Gardner is going to say a sound. Listen super carefully, and then I'd like you to write the letter that spells that sound. For example, if Mrs. Gardner says, then you're going to write the letter M. Got it? Are you ready? Let's get started.
Please write the letter that makes the sound Please write the letter that makes the sound The letter U makes the sound We can write an uppercase U and a lowercase u. The letter U makes the sound Please write the letter that makes the sound e. Write the letter that makes the sound e. The letter E makes the sound e. I'm going to write an uppercase E and also a lowercase e. The letter E makes the sound e. Please write the letter that makes the sound I. Write the letter that makes the sound I. The letter I makes the sound I. Here's an uppercase I, and let's write a lowercase I. The letter I makes the sound I. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. Write the letter that makes the sound ah. The uppercase letter O makes the sound ah, and let's also write a lowercase letter O. O makes the sound ah. Please write the letter that makes the sound ah. Write the letter that makes the sound ah. The uppercase A makes the sound ah, and we can also write the lowercase a. Please write those letters, the uppercase and the lowercase a, and the letter A makes the sound ah. Please write the letter that makes the sound f. Please write the letter or letters that make the sound f. Sometimes we see the letter F by itself making the f sound, like in the word fun. And sometimes we see the double F, the two F's together, making the f sound, like in the word off, off. F and double F both make the sound f. Please write the letters that make the sound l. Write the letters that make the sound l. Sometimes we see the letter L by itself making the l sound, like in the word lip, lip. And sometimes we see a double L making the l sound, like in the word pill. Both L by itself and the double L make the l sound. Please write the letters that make the sound s. Write the letters that make the sound s. Sometimes we see the letter S by itself making the s sound, like in the word sap. And sometimes we see double S's, two S's together at the end of a word, making the s sound, like in the word pass. Both the single S and the double S make the s sound. Please write the letters that make the sound z. Please write the letters that make the sound z. One of the letters that makes the z sound is the letter S. We see the letter S making the z sound at the end of the word as. Sometimes we see the letter Z in that Z sound, like in the word zip. And sometimes we see double Z's, two Z's, making the Z sound, like in the word fuzz. All three of these graphemes make the phoneme Z. Let's finish up with our blending drill. Wow, we have a lot of initial sounds to work with again. So let's see what we've got. We've got B, F, L, S, T, and W, and Y. But then we also have QU, or Qu. We have BL, or Bl, and ST, St. In our medials, we have E, I, and U. And then you can see we're really practicing our floss rule today. We've got double F, double L, double S, and double Z. Does that look better like that? Kinda. I don't know. These S's are a little funky. All right, so let's go ahead and make our first word. The word is buzz. Buzz, like the buzzing of a bee. B-U. Z-Z, buzz, buzz. I'm going to take off that B and slide an F up there, and I get the word fuzz, like the fuzz on a bee. Now, what happens if I bring up the word or the letter T? I get the made-up word tuzz. That's fun to make a made-up word. We're going to bring up a Z, like if someone's in a tizzy, they've They're in a tiz? I guess that's a made-up word too. We'll take off that ZZ, bring up an F. We get the word Tiff, which is somebody's nickname. Like if your name is Tiffany, someone might call you Tiff. Now let's scoot everything over here. And we are going, oh, I didn't even need to scoot stuff. I've got my ST to make the word stiff. Stiff, like, oh, I've got such a stiff neck. I'm going to take down my FF, bring up an LL, and I get the word still, like the water's really calm. It's very still. Taking off the ST, bringing up the S, I get sill, like a window sill. That's that space beneath the window that for me gets really dusty. And I think spiders like that spot too. So I have my sill. I'm going to bring up a W, and the word becomes will, like the word will, or even the name, short for William. Okay, I'm bringing up my QU, and I get quill. This is like a fancy pen that has like a feather on the end of it. You might call it a quill. And if I take off that E, quell. Quell, that's a beautiful word for like to calm something down, to quell it. It's very poetic. Let's take off that QU and we'll bring up a W, and the word becomes well. Well, I'm feeling well. How are you feeling? Ooh, and let's bring up the Y. The word becomes yell. I'm going to yell. No, you don't need to yell. You could instead just use a bell. Bell. Let's take off that LL and add an SS. We get the nickname Bess, often short for someone whose name is Elizabeth. What happens if I bring up the BL and we get the word bless? Oh, bless your heart. And if we take off the L or the B and just bring up an L, we get the word less. And sometimes less is more, which is why we're going to stop here. Good golly, we had a lot of initial sounds. I need a bigger mat to fit all these sounds. We'll bring that down, bring this down, and great blending today.
With every sound you soar, you fly.